Stuart Hall's representation theory, not to be mixed up with Stuart Hall's reception theory, is a theory about how the media provides us with character representations that, after a specific time of it being repeated and repeated, manage to embed themselves into society. Essentially, media products have the power to negatively portray groups of people by their race, gender, age, sexual orientation, ability, etc. through stereotypes and caricatures. And once that's repeated enough, as I said, it can embed itself into real-life views that people carry in everyday life. Essentially, this is how stereotypes are formed. And if you already know about Curran and Seaton and how they say how conglomerates are taking over, if you don't know, I'll give you a quick rundown. Essentially, because every media product is being owned by the same companies and we're getting a very short amount of companies actually owning every media product, we're having ideas pushed to us from the same types of people. And as this keeps on happening, and if this is the only media we intake, we're going to actually view groups of people as they are presented in movies and other media products. This is my favourite media example, especially for media theories, and I love this film. Big Hero 6 presents this amazingly by breaking stereotypes. Their main character, Hero, is a teenager, and typically in media products, teenagers can be represented as edgy, moody, awkward, angry all the time, etc, etc. If you think kind of a Jenna Ortega typecast with other elements of a horrible kid in there. Hero, however, is actually quite smart, emotionally intelligent and aware, and though he's slightly awkward, he's very social. Many people online headcanon that he is autistic, and unfortunately in the media, autism isn't typically very positively represented, but Big Hero 6 does it quite well here, and they don't ever, point it out, which I think is important, and if it is a real thing within the universe, it doesn't need to be pointed out, and I think that's a good thing to remind our audiences. Baymax is a robot, and typically in movies, robots are scary characters that are gonna fight back. Thinking Terminator as your main example, robots are going to fight back, essentially, is what the media want us to think, and Baymax goes against that stereotype as he is designed for and clearly only wants to perform healthcare. There's one scene where he starts fighting back because Hero's coded that into him, and he's very regretful for the rest of the movie. He clearly didn't want that to happen and doesn't allow it to happen again. Honey Lemon is designed perfectly to be the dumb blonde woman. However, I would say that she's the smartest character in the cast, and her powers are the most scientific, if you understand what I'm saying. She has a handbag with the periodic table on it. It's clear that she's studying an advanced kind of science course, and she's very, very smart. Go-Go is Disney's first Korean character and is a woman, but she's portrayed as very aggressive, strong, and scary, which are typically masculine characteristics. She constantly says woman up, though, to remind everyone that she is a woman and not a man. And she proves that women, too, can be quote-unquote masculine, breaking these ideas of gender roles, of gender, which Judith Butler would quite like if you go and study them. Wasabi is designed to be the large, scary black man, but despite intentions of appearing like that scary character, he's really scared of everything else, and he's the most frightful of the crew. He completely avoids speeding and running a red light, even when escaping a villainous character that appears to want to kill them. And Fred, being the only white character of the cast, is left to be the quote-unquote black best friend. Typical trope taken on, where a black person is thrown into a media product to make it look diverse, but they're cast aside and not used as a character. Fred is purely there for comic relief, even though he brings the team together with his geeky knowledge, but he's clearly very heavily sidelined. So that is Stuart Hall's representation theory. Do not mix this up with Stuart Hall's reception theory.